So hi everybody and welcome to new category of videos that I will make, and this is developer tips in Laravel. So let's begin, and today we have our first topic, and this is enums in Laravel development. So if you haven't heard about enums, we can describe this in short like a class, PHP class that you define with our syntax, and where you can save all possible cases, and this class just, this class can get some value and return. And let me explain how this works, but remember that enums, it's not more, it works like a class in some kind, but this have different syntax, different different approach in development. And first let me show you the syntax, and let's make also some small example. And for example, in the most common example how you can use enum, just imagine that you have let's go to migrations folder, let's go to users table, and imagine that we have here new field that will be named role, and inside this field you will save role of the user. It could be, for example, some string value like admin, moderator, editor, or something like this. And you have situation where you need to save all possible cases, all possible roles in some class, or for example you don't want to save these possible roles in database. So in this case you can use enums. So let me show you how you can use enums in Laravel with your models. So first you will need to create a folder for enums. In my case it will be just app enums, and let's create a new enum in file named role.php. First let's define namespace. In our case it will be enums, and we are going to use this namespace to get this role enums that we'll create here. And to define enum, first you type this enum, and after that you define name of role. Also you can define which data type will return this enum. In my case it will be string, and now I can define all possible cases for this enum. In our case this is roles of users. So we will have, for example, admin role, and it will return admin string. It will have moderator role, and it will return moderator, and also editor role, and this will be editor string. So as you can see, we have now 3 possible cases, and these 3 possible cases return 3 different strings. And this is a way how you can make structure where you can save all possible, in our case all possible roles for user for this role field. Now let's define some default value. Let me show you how you can define a short value for role field. Let me show you how you can now include this role. And yeah, also don't forget that before you're going to include some classes, don't forget to use composer dump -autoload, because we created here new namespace named enums. And now we can type app enums. Oh, I forget to on my PHP extension, so let's enable it, because I see that this don't give me any suggestion. So enums, and I can now type role. Yeah, it's get it. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, great. And now save it, and let's go here and default value. So default role of every user, it will be role. So now if you want to get some value from your enum, you will need to type here, just like a calling static function, this 2 dots 2 times. And in our case default role of user, it will be editor. But if you type editor just like this, it will not get your string, so you will need to type also value, and this will get here editor string from this enum. Okay, that sounds really great, and that means that now I can make all migrations. And also I set up here database connection for SQLite, because I'm making just simple tutorial. So let's type here PHP artisan migrate, and because I'm using SQLite, I will need to create a database.sqlite file for my database. So I type here yes, and as you can see all migrations are successful. And as you remember, we have by default created user factory, and also we have database seeder. So let's go to database seeder, and let's define, so we don't need to define any things, so let's just uncomment this code, and let's create this new test user. And this user will have a role of sorry I forget that this must be default of role field, not name field. And this test user that we will create here by seeder will have editor role. So let's now type PHP artisan migrate fresh seed, And as you can see, database seeded successfully. So that means that now I can open my database here. So let's create some connection. Yeah, you can use some extensions to get your SQLite database. So I will type here just Enums tutorial, something like this. And let's open this database. Okay, see, let me use another program to do that. So first let me open Table Plus. So I'm successfully connected to my database of my applications. That means that I can now go to users table, and as you can see, now my test user have editor role. So this is really simple way how you can use Enums just to make some, just to define, for example, some possible roles of user and save it. And it's really easy, it's like using class, but this is for possible cases, for some value, for some field. And this is really common thing that people use in Laravel. More about this you will also know from my new tutorials. So that was really short lesson. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna meet in the next video.